Roppstar gang, what up, what up? Welcome back to yet another edition of the Roppstar Report. And we are in day 7 of training camp. And man, I've got some content for you guys. I'm gonna give you obviously my biggest takeaways from today's training camp, as I always do. Always drop your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. If you've been keeping up with it. Shout out to all of our beat writers out there. Mike K, Alex Zitlo, Vashti, Miss Quick, all those guys, man. Shout out to them because they just keep me really up to date with everything, and so that way we guys can stay in the loop, and whether you're a content creator, a fan, whatever the case may be. You really can get into it. So other than that, guys, again, welcome in. Appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Again, as always, make sure you pound that like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure you click that post notifications bell so you don't miss any new content. And yeah, welcome in. Let's see who we got in the chat already. Let's see who we got in the chat already. We got Marcos. What's good, my guy? What's good? Panthers bring that heat in camp so far. Absolutely. Marco, I got Roadmaster. Roadmaster, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining. Cyburn, what's good? Appreciate you coming through, my guy. Don't forget to pound that like button on your way in. Marcos Cashnos, what's good? SC Panthers boy 803, what is going on, my guy? Brandon Howman said he made it on NFL Network today. How so? Didn't realize there was an interview happening in front of me. Interesting. Let's go BY9. Underground West just coming in and blessing the channel already? Already today, guys? This is how we're going to start this off today? Already just going to start getting the memberships going, eh? Getting the memberships going. I love it. I love it. Getting the memberships going. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate that, Underground West, becoming a new member. Shout out to Underground West coming through with that membership. Appreciate it. Yo, Kendall, what's good? Broski Bear, what's going on, man? All right, well, enough of that. Appreciate everyone coming through. Let's get right into it. Y'all know what time it is. Let's go. Yep, W West in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. W West in the chat. So, all right. So the Panthers camp has been interesting. We are in the 7th day. This camp wasn't about going through the motions. It was fast. It was intense, and some confrontational, and a lot of this in a good way, really. I mean, a few lighter we've had a few lighter practices. I mean, today was clearly pushing that gas pedal a little bit, right? And the players responded with a lot of fire out there. But we're just past that easy phase now, right? It's really starting to show because another practice today. And for Dave Canales, that's exactly how he wants it. He wants it a little bit intense. You want it a little bit chippy. You want it a little bit, again, borderline chaotic, right? Right? You want to see fights almost happen. You don't really want to see the fights happening, but you also almost want to see them, right? You want to see the trash talk coming out of these players. All right? You don't want to see dumb penalties, but you're going to see a couple of those, right? You want that competitive edge, right? That's what you want to see out here, right? They didn't need any motivation that day to really fly off instinct and pride, right? But again, we start off the day with some injury news, man. Just some minor injury news that I want to discuss because there are 3 key players who sat out today. None expected to be really long-term, of course. You got Hunter Renfrow, who is slight hamstring issue, and Canales asked directly if he'd play in a real game. And Renfro didn't hesitate, said absolutely. But it's a smart move, obviously, by the coaching staff to sit him before anything lingers. Because as we've seen right now, Hunter Renfro seems to be getting back to his old self pretty quickly. As for Mike Jack, it was reports that he had toe soreness. And then, of course, rookie Corey Thornton took most of his reps today, and the medical feedback was positive. No like structural issues. So Jackson should be back soon. And then Pat Jones had some chest congestion, non-COVID related, but basically he just felt like shit and didn't sleep, I'm assuming, and just standard camp bug. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. So so far so good there. Here's a clip. Here's a clip of Jimmy Horn Jr. on Tre'von Moehrig. Tre'von Moehrig and him have been going back and forth, man. Here's a nice clip of Shamar Bartholomew.
Thompson can get some.
With Shamar, T-Mac with Shamar Bartholomew. Here's a clip here of Shao Smith-Wade getting a PBU on Adam Thielen. And there's Tre'von Moehrig again on Jimmy Horn. That time he got the best of Jimmy Horn. Xavier Legette here with Jaycee. Jaycee strapped him up there. So just some quick clips there real quick. I want to talk about this tweet here real quick. Corey Thornton. There's a guy I think that even though in this apparently this play still haven't. I don't even know if there's a clip out there of this yet. I still haven't seen it yet. If someone could find that clip, that would be great. I'm not sure if there is one out there. If you do know where that clip is, send it my way, please. Send it my way. But all right, let's get into Corey Thornton real quick. I want to talk about him because he's an undrafted rookie, a guy out of Louisville. He didn't just he kind of got into the first reps due to obviously Mike Jack having that day off today, but he also has earned them this spring. He's where he's supposed to be. He's processing quickly. He doesn't flinch when the ball is in the air. Dave Canales even came out and said that when it's 50-50, someone's got to make a play. And as of right now, this is one of the guys that is showing up, right? He's long. He's heavy at the point of the attack. So the kid brings a lot of juice. I think he's not just a camp body. I didn't really know much about him coming into this. He's pushing for a roster spot. And if Jackson, especially if Jackson's toe lingers even longer, but we'll see. As for Shao Smith-Wade, I do want to talk about him too. Again, another guy who's taking charge in this corner room, this guy, less than 30 minutes of practice today, who's a second-year quarter, he's bringing that energy again. Like, everything we've heard about in minicamp, everything we've heard about OTAs, he's bringing it. So he was talking a lot of trash today because on some plays, I heard that he was one of the guys on that defense really being vocal back there. Because he literally, on one play, stopped what he was doing, let the entire defensive back group hear about it. Veterans and rookies, it didn't matter. He let them know in very, from my understanding, some words I can't, we can't use, but we can, but I'm not sure exact what the words were. But obviously, it's basically the message hit, and it was like, wake the hell up. So, and that's for good measure. You want to see these guys you want to see everybody be vocal, right? You really want, again, this is what I was talking about last night, guys. It's like building that culture, having that identity, right? Having some edge. We need this team to have some edge. Okay. We really need a team have this team have some edge. So right now we're building a lot of this is the culture you want to see, right? All right. A lot of grit. Exactly. Underground West. A lot of grit that we're seeing from this team, right? But here's the thing. Damani Richardson came out and said the same thing about this. He came out and said that he's always going to do the right thing, and then he gets everyone else to follow. That's what we're hearing about Shaw Smith-Wade. It's crazy to hear a guy who was a 5th round pick, quietly earning he's basically earning that starting nickel role, right? And he earned it late last season, really, but he's really earning it again now. And now he's playing like he owns the position, which is what you want to see out of your second, what is this, his second year? Yeah, so he's letting everyone know again. And it goes back to what Horn said during OTAs, that Smith-Wade was the most impressive defensive back in the building. And that's saying something when you're in a room full of alpha personalities, right? Canales came out and said that he's comfortable now. You can see his personality come out, and that's when a player gets it. They stop thinking, they start leading. So Shaw Smith-Wade could be, again, another what could end up being, if he continues to progress forward in his performance, and having a guy like that to be a leader, a vocal leader, another leader on this team, is huge, especially for a guy who's a 5th round pick. We weren't sure what he was really going to be. And then him coming out here and progressing, and now being vocal as a leader is very huge for a defense, especially after, being one of the worst defenses in NFL history last year. So it says a lot about this guy's character, and you know what I mean? So let's get to some of your comments here. Jimmy's been having a great camp so far. Yeah, we'll talk more about him. I believe in CSW for sure. Mr. Clean, let's go. What's good? T-Mac Renfro, Jimmy looking good in training camp. Love to see it. All of them, man. All of them. Seriously, do the Panthers even have a defense? Oh, God. Here goes Broski Bears. Broski Bear comes in here. 1 minute, he's just asking nice questions. He brings some compliments. And now, as I think we're getting closer to the season, he's really coming into his true Bear fan form. Starts talking shit. Here we go. Here we go. Why you got to do that, man? What's good, Quantum? Guys, what's up at the Roppstar Report? Clay, great show, my guy. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. What's good, Earl? What's good? All right, let's move on. Cyburn gifted 5 Roppstar memberships. Shout out to Cyburn with those 5 gifted. Nice.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so. And
love it, Cyburn. Appreciate you. See, Broski. See, I knew Broski was trolling, man. That's why he's laughing. I know Broski very well. I'm starting to really get to know you, Broski. You might be right. You might be onto something there, Roadmaster. You might be onto something there. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some emotions too, as well. Because again, the emotions were running high. It wasn't just Shaw Smith-Wade. Like, there was a lot of talk about in this training camp. Like, if you wanted a tame business as usual camp practice today, I want to be clear, ladies and gentlemen, this wasn't it. Today, from my understanding from all these beat writers, Joe Pershin, Sheena Quick, Alex Zietlow, which I shouted them out earlier because without them, I would have no idea what's going on, right? But so shout out to those guys, and of course Vashti, and I know I'm missing some other ones in there. But again, there was a lot of intense one-on-one battles. We saw a lot of that. There's a lot of clips out there. You can see any of these clips all over Twitter. But between receivers, defensive backs, some edgy, some borderline reckless, some 11-on-11 work, we saw that between the offense and defense. And Dave Canales clearly let the dogs out on the leash, right? There was 2 plays that stood out to me. And it was it was this one, and I don't know if there's a clip out there of this. I don't know if they've showed it today, but Jaycee Horn did make a textbook interception off of Bryce, and his celebration was to punt the ball. Now, and we know in a real game, that's a 15-yard penalty and probably a fine, right? And then the very next play, if I can find it. Yep, right here. This was the very next play. On that next drive, Jadavion Sanders gets revenge on a slick touchdown catch, spun the ball in front of Horn, and then the defense did like a WWE taunt. And basically, obviously, that would be another flag-worthy act. So this is where coaching becomes psychology, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Canales isn't thrilled about the antics. He also came out and said stuff about this, but he's also not putting a lid on that energy. His message was clear. And Canales came out and says, we can't do those types of things. Like, let's be dominant, play dominant. Let, our performance speak for itself. But he also was like, I kind of like it too. Like, we like to have that edge as well. So, and he also came out and said, I like the back and forth, but we have to be smarter. So I get it. We don't want to have dumb penalties through the season, but we do want to have that swagger, right? That's one thing we do have. This was the type of day that teeters between iron sharpens iron and then a full-blown brawl. And it hasn't bowled over yet, but I feel like we're getting close at some point. I feel like we're getting close. Let me see where we're at. I like the back and forth. Me too. Yep. Hell yeah. Quantum. That's how you build your identity. Absolutely. Absolutely. I like the energy, but punting the ball was it's every time I think about dumb penalties, I always think about that PJ Walker touchdown against Atlanta where DJ Moore catches it and then takes his helmet off. That's one play I always think about, which was a dumb penalty. So that one always sticks into my head. I don't know why. But let's get into, this is the best thing since. This is just wild right here. He had to cup that into his nuts. Watch that again. It's wild. Look, he gets it, stretches out, brings it in, and then cups it to his nuts. Yeah. That is, I don't know how he caught that ball, but the guy's hands is there. Yeah. All right, let's talk about Bryce Young, though, today, because we've got reports coming out like this saying that Bryce Young's best practice was today, not even close, ladies and gentlemen, not even close. And, of course, Alex Zietlow of the Charlotte Observer said that what a day for the third-year quarterback. Now, I've seen a lot of clips. I've watched a lot of the tapes before coming on here and a lot of the clips of Bryce Young of today. And by far from watching from a throwing, timing, footwork, like that, those are the things I'm looking at with him. I'm looking at his timing, his footwork, right? Especially when we did the 11 on 11s, right? But those are the things. His timing, his footwork, and how efficient he is with the football. And I've watched multiple clips of the training camp so far. We're 7 days into this, And this was easily Bryce Young's best day of camp so far, for sure. And Alex is right. It wasn't even close. He was very poised today, very accurate, very aggressive, actually. Like, he was hitting a lot of tight windows. If you watch a lot of the clips, he took, you heard Canales came out today in his press conference, mentioned Bryce really taking command of the huddle. Through with anticipation. Besides really that one, he only really had one bad play today, and that was the interception on Jaycee. So that, the things you need to see, these are the things you do need to see, right? And a quarterback going into year 3, right? This is his, again, we know how I feel here. I think this is his make or break year, right? Year 3 is when normally quarterbacks take that major leap. And for me, I need to see Bryce Young take that major leap, right? But this kid today was throwing some absolute dimes, right? He was commanding that offense very well today, right? And but the best thing was how he was just executing that offense today. The execution was there, right? And I think, Dave Canales, there was an interesting question that came out of his press conference today, and was like, basically one of the I'm not sure who it was, came out and just said, what has changed with Bryce? And Canales said guys were just where they were supposed to be, and that we're still cleaning up timing and spacing and stuff, but today the rhythm was there, and that's everything. Okay. So that means that there's still work to do, but the progress is tangible, right? Where Young's chemistry with the receivers, especially these new guys, is starting to form. And I think if this trend can continue, the panic around the offense will cool off fast, right? And then everything will just flow the way it needs to. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, it was definitely nasty work on him. Oh my, yes, sir. That's one of the best catches I've seen. Bryce put that ball down the field with ease. Quantum, I've always said it before. I was never worried about Bryce getting it down the field. The problem with Bryce was always his deep ball accuracy. If you ever watch it, it's mind blowing to me sometimes. Some things that people say, man, they say, well, he doesn't have a big enough arm, but yet you go watch every deep ball throw, it's overthrown. When he was compared to last year. Well, I should say last year in the last 10 weeks of the season is what I should say. But again, it's just like I said last night. Everybody wants to remember the final record, but nobody wants to talk about what happened from that 4-6 the last 10 weeks of last year. Context matters, man. Oh, definitely. I agree with you, Roadmaster. That's why I still remember it. Definitely skills, elite eye, hand coordination. Yep. Was that on Thornton? Let's go see. Let's see. Was that Thornton? Yeah, that's Thornton. 31. That's Thornton. Oh, shit. Whoops. That was definitely on Thornton. But, yeah. Austin Wright, what's good? Appreciate you coming through, my guy. C-Rock. Is it me, or does Bryce Young's deep ball accuracy seeming to improve? I thought it was improving last year. I thought we saw a lot more aggressive throws from him last year. I think we saw a lot more zip on his ball the last 10 weeks last year. I think the kid's I've always thought the kid had the skill set. I think there was just something or someone that needed to get it out of him. And again, that benching, I think, is what got it out of him. And I think Dave Canales is what has gotten it out of him. Now, again, I just need to see, like I've told you guys time and time again, the Bryce Young I'm seeing now in training camp, the Bryce Young I saw the last 10 weeks of last year is what I need to see going from week 1 until the middle of November. If I can get that to the middle of November, I'll be okay. I'll be able to say, okay, maybe this guy is the franchise guy. I believe in Bryce Young. I believe in his skill set. I believe what he can do with a football when it's in his hands. It's just that he has to go out there and be efficient, be consistent, and be smart. That's it. It's all about him executing. And I've said that time and time again on this show. No worries, Austin Wright. No worries. You're good, buddy. Yes, he does. It was probably that and that damn girlfriend of his that he broke up with last year, whatever her name was, that dumped him for a basketball player. It's probably what it was. Facts. His deep ball accuracy was the main issue down the field. Yeah. He was always throwing. Oh, he never underthrew guys. He always overthrew. So it's not like he couldn't push the ball down the field. I just don't understand it. I mean, you go watch tape, and it was every single time. Thornton got burnt by Coker yesterday. Yeah, but Thornton's a guy, man, that's just, he's showing a lot of promise. He's like, right now, I'd say he's throwing a lot of promise, but then there's times he gets burned, right? But again, he's an undrafted rookie. So you really can't expect much from a guy like that, right? That T-Mac catch, though, yeah. I mean, Thornton helped him with that catch with his hand being there, but the hand-eye coordination from Tetairoa McMillan was what had him haul in that catch, in my opinion. I'll give him the car keys for now, but not the title. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think that's totally fair. I think that's totally fair, Roadmaster. I can't agree more with you. I can't agree more with you. But let's get back to Tetairoa McMillan. Okay. Like we saw this catch. I think, is there another catch out there? That's Shaw. That's the interception. Oh, there's the interception. There's the Jaycee Horn interception. Here it is. Hold on. God dang, man. Can you put pause real quick? Thank you. I want to slow it down because I want to see what happened here. All right. Let me see. All right. So who's throwing that, by the way? Bryce. So Bryce throws this. Slow motion. Pause. There's Thielen. Either Leggett missed the ball. Oh, it was thrown too far, or it was thrown too far in front of Leggett here. Interesting. And then there's the pick. Ooh, Jaycee better hold on to it. Looks like it was a little bit of a too forward of a pass, too far in the front. But this, based off the statistics today, that's not right. One pick. He had one pick. So Bryce had a day at training camp. It was actually 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, 11 for 14. That's the only thing that's wrong with that, according to reports. Step on that like button. Yes, sir, Marcos. Step on that like button. We also have a live goal, man. Every live goal here is not about money for me. If you want to give money, that's fine. Venmo, Cash App, Super Chat, that's fine. Whatever. I'm not pushing for that. What I'm pushing for is for your likes and your subscribes. And all of that is for free. If you want to become a member and go the extra mile, please do so. But all that I ask for is your likes, subscribes, and of course, click that post notifications bell because it notifies you every time I'm live. But the more we like, the more we subscribe, the more it's able to get my channel out there to those that may have not seen it. So we can continue to grow this family, and it helps out tremendously. All right. The likes and the subscribes, sooner or later, ladies and gentlemen, will pay for itself to the point where I can do this full time. That's the whole key there. And then the next step is then to get my media credentials so I can go be in Charlotte to be able to give you live content like at the training camp. There's a method to my madness, ladies and gentlemen. There's a method to my madness. They messed up allowing Bryce to get some confidence. Naysayers, haters, you have all been warned. The president of BUA BWL. Love it. Love it, Quantum. I love it. People make too much out of a CV getting burned. It's going to happen. Wide receiver knows routes. Cornerbacks is reacting. Looks like a duck pass. Yeah, straight wobbler. Yep. Picks in practice don't mean anything because he's testing himself via defensive schemes. He's only going to continue to improve. Absolutely. I don't disagree, ladies and gentlemen. I don't disagree. I've said it before and I say it again. I don't believe in anything what I see. Not that I don't believe. Believe is not the right word. I don't overreact or to what I'm seeing in training camp right now. What I will start reacting to is when we start doing these joint practices. And of course, once we get into preseason games, that's when I'll probably start reacting a little bit more. Okay. But against in training camp, I will not be overreacting. So again, I don't read in too much of this. Okay. Let's talk about Tetairoa McMillan real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about Tetairoa McMillan. Tetairoa McMillan definitely had his best day today as well. For me, I think Tetairoa McMillan is growing up really fast in front of our eyes. Okay. And I know he just got here. You know, I mean, there is a reason that this front office took this kid at the 8th overall selection for a reason. I've always said his size is one of the reasons. I've always said his hands is another reason. His body control, his route running. And then today he showed all of that. All right, from reports, from clips. The rookie really bounced back today, really from it was a shaky stretch of practices. It wasn't like he had okay, but today was more clean. Today was more about his confidence coming out today. I mean, he hauled in several contested catches today, and created separation from a lot of the clips I was seeing against really everybody. You know, everybody in that corner room, right? You know, and what's even better is that he's not out here sulking or spiral when things, you know, don't go his way, right? You know, because early in the week he reset himself really. Like Canales came out and said in the press conference, that's exactly what you want to see from a potential wide receiver one. Basically, what Canales came out and said, and actually I have the quote right here in front of me. And this is from Canales. And then the quote says here, he's had some bad plays this camp. He's had some great ones, but he bounces back fast and shows the real confidence. Canales says, when a guy says, I'll do it again, I'll get it right, that's a powerful self-talk. What I take from that is, and I don't know how you take from that, but what I take from that is that this isn't fluff praise. McMillan is stacking meaningful reps and earning trust. And on Monday, he mossed Mike Jackson, right? We saw that. Today, he stacked more highlight catches. Again, if he keeps this up, he's going to be a day one starter for sure. I think he's already a day one starter, but like as a locked in day one starter is what I mean. And potentially could end up being Bryce's go-to guy besides Adam Thielen. But seems like Bryce has been sharing the love around with Jimmy Horn and Hunter Renfrow. And we've seen Leggett make some plays. We've seen Coker make plays. So it seems like everybody's eating. It seems like everybody's eating. All right. It's a damn it's a damn cook-off right now. And everybody's eating. Everybody's at the cookout. Everybody's eating, man. Not the cook-off, cookout. That's what I meant. Everybody's eating. That's waiting on, yeah, I'm waiting on joint practices. Loveland and Burden are weapons. I always thought Luther Burden was, I have Luther Burden top 3 wide receivers in this draft class. I think I'm not going to lie to you guys. I had Emeka Buka 1. I had Tetairoa McMillan 2. And I had Luther Burden 3. So I know Burden's going to be nasty. Loveland's going to be nasty. The only problem with Loveland, I think, is his health issues. But other than that, he's nasty. Quantum, you think that they'll turn Jaycee Horn joint practice next week? Dog energy, absolutely. Bunch of hungry dogs. I love this energy. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. There's so much to talk about. I'll say this. I think today, ladies and gentlemen, I really think today that this offense won the practice. I think it's always a little subjective, but today, like from what I'm seeing and from like reports, I really truly believe that, let's see if I can find some more clips for you guys. I truly believe that the offense won the practice today for sure. Let's see. We can get back down here. Tetairoa McMillan almost with that was almost a one-hander right there on Shamar Bartholomew. That was nasty. Watch this. Running up the seam, trying to come over. Oh, almost had it. Morig clamped. He was just absolutely clamped. Morig clamped him that play. Watch this. Ooh, ooh. Nice route, though. I like that route by Jimmy Horn. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That was good footwork. Nice hip movement. All right, let's see what we got. I think this is where Jimmy gets him back, though. Yeah, he got him there. That was Andy Dalton. He had to stop to catch that ball. Watch him. Scoop. Oop. Yep. See what else we got here. Is this the same play? Oh, see, there's that Chris route running I'm talking about. Oh, here's all of today's one-on-ones. All right, here we go. I didn't know this was a full thing of one-on-ones. Shout out to Carolina Blitz. Let's watch these clips real quick. We got all the one-on-ones right here. Now, this is going to tell us why the offense won today. Again, it's always today. I mean, I really think from what I'm seeing in reports, on all the tweets, it seems like the offense made more splash plays. They strung out together cleaner drives. All right, so we got Bryce throwing it here. We got Shamar Bartholomew one-on-one and T. McMillan. Nice cutback. All right. I think this is where Shaw clamps. Yep. Shaw clamped Thielen there. Leggett on Thornton. Clamps. Man, well, I don't know. Maybe PI on that. All right, we got David Moore here. Who's on him? And he still caught that ball. But I'm not sure who that was. Jimmy Horn, here's Morig. And then got him. All right, Coker on, I think that's Bartholomew, 29. No, that's not Bartholomew. That might be MJ Devonshire. Who's 43 here? And I don't know who this is. 80? Is that Jacoby George or Kobe Hudson? Who's that? I can't see. Oh, is that Mitchell Evans? Oh no, that's what's his name? Never mind. I was about to say, who's 81? Damn, who's 88? Oh, there's Thielen. All right, here we go. T-Mac with that's Bartholomew right there, 27. This is the catch. Oh no, that was the one he missed. Okay. I thought it was gonna be the catch. There's the clamp on Jimmy Horn Jr. All right, here's Leggett. Who's with him? Oh, Jaycee. David Moore. Clamp. Oh, I don't know. Might have been a push off there. Oh, who was 80? God damn, put that boy on skates, whoever 86 was. I think Jacoby George is 80, or is that Kobe Hudson? Damn, who's 39? He's handsy, boy. He's a little handsy. He's a little handsy. Oh, a little whoop, 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 skirt. Let's see what else we got. T-Mac starting to adjust to good to see. Absolutely. Glad we got T-Mac. He's going to be good for a while. Yep. They should. If I were Bryce, this is how he continues to improve. Yep. I want us to draft an LB3 so bad, Clay. It's all about Anthony Hill, Anthony Hill out of Texas, man. I mean, I know we got some Boomer Sooners in the chat, but it's all about that boy out of Texas. Anthony Hill's going to be a absolute stud. If you don't know who Anthony Hill is, I will get some clips of him and I will put it on the show. Because I have actually I'll have all of next year's draft class film this upcoming season. So passing offense 1, run defense 1. Big Wall, what's up? You see Hunter and Mike Jack got injured. Well, they didn't get injured today. They basically took a minor rest day. Basically, from my understanding, Big Wall, again, Hunter Renfrow, slight hamstring issue. Canales asked him directly if he'd play in a real game. Hunter Renfrow didn't hesitate, said absolutely, but it's a smart move by the staff to just sit him before they have anything else that lingers. And as for Mike Jack, it's nothing crazy. It's just toe soreness. Just toe soreness, and you know, Corey Thornton, the rookie, came in and took his reps. So, and all the medical feedback for both of them were positive. No structural issues, so both of those guys should be back soon. So nothing to worry about, Big Walt. Nothing to worry about, my guy. Devonshire gone. Clay sounds like Chris Berman. That sound. Strong hands, Coker for sure. Devonshire was released. That's right. I totally forget. I keep forgetting that we did release him. I forgot we released him. I feel all right. Let's get through some of these real quick. I feel bad for the teams, 3rd and 4th string DBs in preseason. Our group is deep. I hate how Leggette's reps go dead like that for sure. What we got here, man? Jaycee a Gamecock. Man, Jaycee a Gamecock. Of course. Cox by 90 on this show, baby. Cox by 90 on this show, Roadmaster. All right. Luther Burner III. Yeah. What's up, Sean? Sean, what's good, man? Appreciate you coming through. Love Doug Higgins comes says, love it, bro. Keep up the awesome content, please. Absolutely, Doug. Absolutely. Anybody? Thank you, Black and Blue. Okay, Jacoby George was 80, and then Caleb Evans is 29. All right, I'll remember that now. I'll remember that. I know because we got so many new players, I can't remember everybody's jersey number, but I try to. For the most part, I remember everybody's, but there's a few I'm not quite up to par yet, but that's okay. But that's why I got you, Black and Blue. That's why I got you, man. You keep me straight. You keep me in line. All right? Keep me in line. I like it. Sorry, Evans is 29. Okay, got you. Gotcha. Anybody heard anything of on Mello Dotson? Trey Willis, as of right now, they haven't heard anything. Again, I think he's a guy that no one really should sleep on. I talked about him last night. I had a whole part of my I added a whole part of my show last night to talked about Taylor Moton's contract, Mello Dotson, and of course why nobody should sleep on the Carolina Panthers this upcoming season. But I had a whole section of that to the training camp part yesterday. So if you want to go check that out, please do so. But yeah, as of right now, Mello Dotson, there hasn't been much on him. Okay. I do think that Dotson, though, to give you some feedback, I do think his skill set screams perfect complement to a shutdown corner like Jaycee Horn. He fits the scheme. He fits the need here, right? He's a guy that plays in tough and coverage. He's great against the run. He excels in off man. And especially in zone schemes. He's got great ability to read routes. He can attack the ball like a safety, sometimes almost ignoring his receiver to focus solely on the ball. He does that a lot when you watch his tape. So he's a guy that exactly Evero wants. I think he has closing speed. I think that the 40 time, again, I don't read too much into 40 times very often. Especially when you watch tape. Once you start watching tape, the 40 times go out the window, in my opinion. But it's all about what they can do with the pads on, in my opinion. But what do I know? But allowing him to recover from mistakes and shut down windows for quarterbacks before passes even get them. Again, the reality with Mello Dotson is that he fits what the Panthers need, right? He fits Evero's scheme. And he has that kind of a playmaking ability that teams desperately crave for. And I think signing him was a smart move. It's a low risk, high reward situation with him. So again, the opportunity is all here for him. And, but I have not heard any updates yet about him. I have not heard any updates about him. He is a dog. I was very high on Mello Dotson, coming out of Kansas. Very high on him. Him and his counterpart there at Kansas, Kobe Bryant. So, Mello Dotson is number 28. Okay, I'll remember that. It would be hard for teams to run man coverage against. I watched his press conference today, Roadmaster. I watched his press conference today. But damn. Watch the press conference. Canales has bag under his eyes from having to do. Jeez, man. Harsh words from Roadmaster. I mean, my God. Just oh man. Just absolutely just murder Ejiro Evero.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it? Does he look like a bitch?
Look like a bitch? Does he look like a bitch? That's messed up, Roadmaster. Don't say that. Okay, Flames shoes 87. He's not a dog. He's a man. Like, let's relax, man. It's just lingo, bro. I mean, you can say he's a dog. It's just lingo. It's not meaning it's figuratively. Like, what is? Are we just like? It's just football talk, man. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. Wow. Okay. Well, Evero was out there very vocal today. He was getting very vocal. He was getting very vocal from my understanding. He was out there yelling at players, trying to get his guys fired up, which as he should. Which it's a different side of Evero I don't think we've really seen lately. But he's also, I think he's got to be, because he's also fighting for his job here. We all know that he's fighting for his job here. I said that before. I said that before, and I'll say it again. He is fighting for his job here. There is somebody else I want to talk about, but I got to find if he's got a clip out here. I don't know if he's got a clip. I don't know if I've seen any clips of him today. There was a tweet about him today. Trying to find it. Here we go. This is the one I wish we had the clip. I don't know where it's at, but this was I'm pretty sure Bryce threw this. Let's check this comment. I was pretty sure that Bryce threw this. Here we go. Yeah. Evero looks like Seal, Bobby Brown, Michael Jackson, Princely. You've got the Rusky Bear. Always coming up with some puns, man. He coached the worst defense in NFL history. He should be pissed off. Yeah, he should be. Maybe the culture's rubbing off on Evero. Hopefully so. I personally drive Evero's U-Haul if the defense looks bad week 1. EJ was vocal. Where was that 2 years ago, Clay? I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't. I'll say this though. Jadavion Sanders continues to flash, man. And I posted up a short not too long ago saying this is one of the guys you can't sleep on. Bryce threw this ball. I wish there was a clip out there of this one. There isn't a clip. With a catch over Jaycee Horn for a touchdown in red zone 11-11, arguably offensive PI. But again, Jadavion Sanders might have a lot of moments ahead of him right now. I think his ability to separate, finish in the red zone like this is real. I think he's always had that. We saw that in Texas very well as well. Again, this is a guy that can open up the if we can get a Jadavion Sanders going, and when I mean going, getting him to the point where he's averaging around 600-700 yards and 5-6 touchdowns. That's where you want you want him to be around there right now, especially in his second year. If you can get him going, do you know what that does to this offense and how it opens up the middle of the field and the passing game? Because he's still developing as a pass blocker, as a tight end pass blocker. He's still developing. And we haven't had a weapon in the tight end like this since Greg Olsen. If he can continue to progress, it will open up this offense tremendously. Absolutely tremendously. Like, I've always said that. I mean, again, we have to think about guys in the league, right? Think about teams in the NFL who have really good tight ends. And where are they at every single year, it seems like? The playoffs. Sam Laporta with Detroit. Mark Andrews. Even you can even make the case for Isaiah Likely for the Ravens, because he's making plays out there when Mark Andrews wasn't. But Isaiah Likely, George Kittle, Travis Kelce. Who else am I missing? I mean, I guess you could make the case for Dalton Kincaid or Dawson Knox for the Bills. Who else am I missing out there? I'm thinking. Joe Burrow doesn't really need that. I mean, he had Mike Gesicki last year. The Eagles had Dallas Goedert. Baker Mayfield has Cade Otton, but he's a guy who can get 700 yards and 5 touchdowns in a season for sure. But it's just the tight end position does so much. We run cover 3, not much of a shocker. Broski Bear with this $3 super chat. Shout out to Broski Bear. Appreciate that, man.
Gay!
Gay. That was for Broski Bear. I'm just messing. Appreciate that, Broski Bear, for the $3 super sticker. Appreciate that. So, again, Jadavion Sanders, y'all heard it here first. Don't sleep on that guy. All right. All right. Other than that, man, day 7 of the training camp has been the best one yet by far. Day 7 didn't look like a team trying to rebuild quietly, that's for sure. It looked like a team figuring out who their alphas are. I mean, obviously the emotion is real here. The young core, I think, is getting louder, just like Shaw Smith-Wade and these other guys. I mean, again, I still think this team has a long way to go before we can really say this team's going to be dangerous this year. I think we're going to be sneaky good, and I think we're going to be one of the sleeper teams in the NFL. But they're at least starting to act like one of those teams, right? Like, the next step for this group is obviously when the season starts is for them to keep that fire going, right? Don't, cut the dumb penalties out, turn that raw energy into production. And if they can do that, I think this is a team that might surprise a lot of people this upcoming fall. So don't forget, by the way, we got FanFest coming up. So I don't know if anybody's going to FanFest, but you got again, you got it on Saturday night. But again, Panthers camp is heating up, man. Panthers camp is heating up. So shout out to everyone in the chat. I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. Appreciate everyone coming through. Again, we have a live goal of 100 likes. Okay. Every stream is a live goal of 100 likes or more. Okay. Start reaching 100 likes or more, I'm going to start doing giveaways every live stream. Or like, not every live stream. Every live stream that reaches 100 likes. So it's not hard, man. It's only a few clicks. So again, I appreciate everyone joining. Appreciate everyone coming through. As always, again, y'all know what to do. I will see you guys tomorrow here, same time, same place. Keep pounding. I'm out. Peace.